Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I am KRX, and we're continuing on as Burma. The year is 1844. We're making some good progress. We've really only we've abolished the serfdom, which is a big deal, but it's the only thing we've passed. We're trying to get this professional army through, and we have a good chance to get it done, which is nice. We're running a bit of a deficit that is creeping up that interest, a little bit unfortunate there, although that banking is going to take a chunk out, which is also nice. Looks like a big peasant revolt going on in the Dutch East Indies, which is kind of cool. I don't think there's really anything we do about that, but I don't know, just destabilizing the region can't be a bad thing for us. That's one of the nice things about being in your own market is if the world starts burning around you, you're still probably okay, to be honest, more often than not. We're building. Building. When this tool workshop gets done, we'll be able to switch a lot of our production modes. Oh, what just happened? Wait, what? Diplomatic pack? France just decided to bankroll us. Thanks, France. I didn't think we were really struggling that much, but okay. Escaping fugitives. Group of slaves have risen up and made for the borders of Great Chin, where slavery is illegal. So this would upset the landowners slightly and make everybody else a lot happier. And this definitely would be the coolest thing, the best thing to hit here. But the only thing I'm thinking, to be completely honest, is the fact that the landowners are the thing that's always going to be the thorn in our side, right? Like, what are we going to pass after this that they're going to be upset about? And we don't really want to be tanking them with events. We want to be bumping them up with these sort of superficial events. Like, this is superficial, right? We're actually going to try to ban slavery. We're going to try to ban slavery. But if we can make them a little bit well, I don't know. Or we could just actually double down and just say that, yeah, exactly. We're going to try to ban slavery. So let's keep pushing them into the tank. And if they want to revolt against us again after they lose some of these other sort of institutions of power, like moving from the peasant levies, then maybe that'll be a good thing. I don't know why the heck France is bankrolling us, but sure. I mean, I think our economy was doing fine without it. In fact, if this France bankroll actually pays off the debt that we've accumulated and gets rid of this interest, oddly enough, we'd be making, like, without the interest and without the diplomatic pacts, we'd still be making good money. I wonder how long that lasts. 5 years, maybe? Maybe until France cancels it, or I don't know. Thanks, France. I don't think I've ever seen an AI do that before. That's how unambitious they are. They just give you stuff. Okay, so we have that tool factory done. I'm gonna come over here. We're gonna spend some tools to get more meat. We knew that meat was sort of priced really highly, and we're gonna use some tools in the factory here. And I think that'll actually balance out the tool situation quite evenly, to be honest. Yeah. 72 made, 73 consumed. I mean, that's pretty dang good. That's pretty balanced looking to me. We need a lot more clothing, like a lot more clothing. And we have very cheap fabric. Yeah, more clothing. More clothing. And when we get a little bit more clothing, we can actually import dye. We can import dye in order to do this and get even more clothing out of the factories we have. Getting some luxury furniture might be nice. We know we have good access to hardwood, but the thing is, if we switched all of our logging to hardwood, we would lose how much actually wood production? We'd lose 120 wood production. Each one of our wood logging camps generates 60 though, so that'd be two logging camps worth of wood would burn off in order to get the 60 hardwood. And then if we built 2 more logging camps, well, actually we'd actually only get 100 additional wood, and we'd get even more hardwood. Thing is, there's no way in a million years we could use all this hardwood. This is only going to take 10 hardwood because we only have 1 furniture factory right now. We're not set up to do this quite yet. I know the excess hardwood should be able to be exported to England, where they should be using a lot of hardwood, but still. Eventually that'll make sense. Oh, okay, apparently France didn't do it for very long, but you know what? You did it just long enough, France. You did it just long enough. Appreciate it. appreciate it. Yeah, we need more grain production. What I'm trying to do is I'm actually trying to keep the livestock ranches and the grain, the rice fields balanced. Keep them balanced. Because eventually when we get intensive agriculture, that'll actually beautifully synergize with each other. 1-to-1 ratio on fertilizer exchange. Speaking of 31 months, I don't really care that much about empiricism or romanticism right now. So I'm actually thinking we just go for intensive agriculture. Let's do it. The industrialists like us. They're giving us a production technology cost reduction. So that's kind of nice. 33. We still have this 33% on this professional army. Can we get this passed, please? Let's go. And the landowners come down to 31%, but that's still with the professional army, with the hereditary bureaucrats, and with the monarchy, right? We're like, there's still some big bites that we can take out of these guys. There's still some bites that we can take out of them here. This is bouncing around a little bit for whatever reason. Something changed with our input costs. Wood, actually. Price of wood has gone up. Pop consumption's at 160. People are using that for furniture and to heat their homes. What did we just build that used a bunch of wood? I mean, this glass is going to use wood. We need more wood. We need more wood. Can't have enough. We know we're going to need even more wood if we're going to switch it eventually to hardwood too, right? Still got 100,000 peasants there. But yeah, we're good on the potential workforce, right? We have a lot of people. We just need to get them all to work. It's going to be a long time before we run out of peasants. Eventually, that could happen, though. If we start building a lot faster, that could happen. This is going to drive up the cost of wood even more, getting this glass online. Although glass substitutes home goods like furniture and stuff, so it might kind of... There might be a balancing out there, potentially. I'm going to go to the development here, and I think we're going to actually go to market stalls. We have the glass to do this, and we need to bring down the cost of services because they're just too high right now. It's saying it's going to cost us more money, but I'm not so sure about that, to be honest. Not as much as it says it will. The other thing, too, is we could actually potentially add a consumption tax on services and make this negative 3,000 look like a cool positive 3,000 in a jiffy, and that's what I think we're going to do. Not a positive 3,000, sorry, just a positive number. Man, we're getting unlucky with this professional army, but I think this is going to pass this time, right? Chances are. We have so much bureaucracy. Part of that is because we have no institutions, because we can't pass laws to get institutions going. I would like to do the colonialism institution if we could hit it quickly, but 20%? Who's supporting it at a 20? Oh, no. Okay, that's only because of an event that triggered. So the armed forces are the only ones that actually want this. Industrialists would support the colonial exploitation. But I'm not sure, actually, to be fair, if... I don't know. I don't tend to... I don't find that the benefits of that one really make much sense. Still have that taxation cap issue down here, which is annoying. 18%. Ugh. 20 from the government admin buildings. So we'd literally need to build 3 more of these things just to be afloat here, and that would cost us way too much on government wages and stuff. Just like we would never recover it just with that tax return. Man, we cannot seem to get this to pass. But I understand that I'm also need to wait for it to actually... I just realized something. Oh my gosh. Our legitimacy's at 8%. It just dawned on me. It just dawned on me. That when these guys threaten to revolt... Oh my gosh, we've wasted so much time with that. When these guys threatened to revolt, they got kicked out of government. I just realized that. Oh my gosh. Why did this bounce up so much? How are we on speed 5 and it still feels like things are going slow? It's just insane. I think it's just that this, again, there isn't like a lot of things to be sort of micromanaging at any given time. And it kind of, you do kind of realize that you're really just waiting for things to happen at most of the time. Russia, why not? Russia and Austria, make them like us. Doesn't matter. I just, this is, the influence is just so silly. So silly. East India Company is actually protective of us, though. Intensive agriculture is done. Do we have that ratio balance between those buildings? Not perfectly, to be honest. Not perfectly. But I still think we want this grain. I still think we want to do this. And that's still going to be a huge bump to I bet you GDP is just, whoop, it's going to go right up like that. We need another ranch to balance it out perfectly with the fertilizer demand. Oh, whoops, technology that we're not getting. These are all going to take way too long, right? Yeah. I guess we do romanticism, sneak that done, and then hopefully it'll auto-spread one of these level 2s. Because I don't think we can really utilize a lot of this stuff. I mean, canneries, maybe. Mechanical tools is actually going to be kind of nice, I think. And fractional distillation might be good for us, too. Because we have the glass that I think is required to do that. We hit a snag, try to do professional army, but we'll get it this time, right? I can't believe we literally just, I can't believe we let like 6 years run by with low legitimacy. That is so silly. I was looking at that, I was like, man, this really isn't passing. And then I was like, wait, it's not even moving. And that's what legitimacy does, right? If you have low legitimacy, this doesn't go around well enough. This is just crazy. This is just absolutely insane to me. We'll pay some money to try to minimize the damages that are done by trying to get this passed. This is actually driving me crazy now at this point. Yep, we need all this. We know we're building another one of these to help balance that out. It's not too big of a deal either which way. Wood looks pretty balanced. We're building more because, again, pushing the cost of wood down isn't a bad thing. We're building another ranch. That's pushing fabric cost down. Not a bad thing. That tea is being consumed. The tobacco, I suspect, is being consumed. We would like to import more luxury clothing, but I guess we're importing enough. The meat is being consumed. The paper is being consumed. The tobacco, actually, to be fair... Yeah, we're importing a huge amount of liquor. So let's export out the tobacco. Because those are the same exact... That's not that great. I mean, it would make more sense to export out liquor that we're importing at huge productivity here than it would be to export out the excess tobacco. What kind of sense does that make? But Russia, this might flex. If we do this, this might actually flex. We have plenty of bureaucracy. We kind of just need to get more convoys, actually, it looks like. Exporting out that liquor. Does that take... Yeah, it all takes convoys. Huh. Now, actually, this would be 15 sugar. And this would be 25 sugar, so that'd be 40 total sugar. How much, if we went, that'd be 45 sugar, and we get the fruit. Believe it or not, I think this will be good. I think this will be good. Let's export out some of that. Here we go. Let's export out some of this liquor. I think this will work out because the sugar costs are going to come way down because we're going to be producing it here, and then we're also going to be just sort of increasing our own, decreasing our reliance on England for the liquor. Cannery, and actually it's the patent stills that use glass, which we have produced, right? We're producing glass. This would require fish and iron. We're not quite there yet, to be honest. And the fish could probably just easily be brought in, but the intelligentsia are probably bound to like us. The intelligentsia are bound to like us just sort of from the things that we're going to be doing in the future. So I think making them a little unhappy, keeping the landowners somewhere around neutral is going to be okay. -5 because they oppose the change we're trying to push through now. Could we please get this passed, though? What do we need the rural folk? Well, the rural folk are the ones that are helping or trying to get this through. Oh my gosh, but it did go up to 25% at least. Holy cow. It was 37% like 10 years ago. We are making... How are we making this much money? Oh, because we're not building anything. Rip. Okay, that's still... Yeah. Our building just ran out. Let's, you know, believe it or not, if we built another glasswork, okay, and then we actually built a lead mine, the 20 lead from here could supply the glass to make us go up to a production level, a new production mode on the glassworks, and then we could actually shift over to pottery or ceramics or what are they called? Porcelain. And this is actually something that could be consumed in replacement of luxury needs like furniture and luxury clothing that we're clearly not getting enough of. So by making, even though there's not a lot of demand for porcelain, if we made a lot of porcelain, the demand would flow, like people would be buying the porcelain. We would create the demand for porcelain. Another one of those is good because I think we just need to build, yeah, more textile mills, more furniture mills, more food industry, more rice, probably more logging. Yeah. I bet you the opium doesn't hurt. What have we not did? We don't need shipyards. Don't need chemical plants yet. Motor industry, steel, we're not quite there yet. The arms industry is interesting because we could technically move up to this with, especially for, why? Like, what is going on? Why is our economy looking so good? Why is our economy looking so good? This is almost making me think, okay, we need another port then, right? We need another port, and we need to build more bureaucracy in Pegu to try to fix that. Like, how is this so good? Hold on a second. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get those things built there. And then actually, if we do that, how much paper are we going to be consuming in this case? Yeah, so get another paper thing going. Let's put that up a bit. Honestly, the simplest thing here, let's move down the glassworks and the lead, because I think, yes, I like the thought process there. It's just not the immediate, it's not the immediate thing that we need to worry about. Let's get this stuff built here, up here with the money that we're making. I can't believe we're making this much money all of a sudden. I don't know what happened. Well, the reality is one thing we could do with, we could get another construction office. We would almost certainly be losing money if we did that. But you know what? Let's do it. Then here, if we're doing that, let's bring up the logging as well. Let's bring up the logging. Because we know that's good. Yeah. And that's, there we go. This is, in fact, actually, we might even need more logging than this. More logging. There we go. We finally got professional army. Yowzers. We finally hit it. If we're looking over here, I can't read. We could use this right away. We're not really uber specializing in it, though, to be honest. 35 months. This would give us more taxation capacity with the central archives. Central banking gives us more minting. I like that. It's a small amount of, it's really a small increase because we're not producing gold, but it's something. It just doesn't hurt. We got to get this stuff all eventually. Diplomatic tour. The wait a second. They're ruling? Wait, what? The ruling rural folk, led by the charismatic so-and-so. They're not, maybe they're just saying that because they're in the government and because we have a monarchy, it sort of considers these people to be ruling as well, even though technically the ruler is the king, right? Who's a landowner. So that got me excited for a second. I don't mind. But yeah, no, this is great. This is great. Yeah. Drum up support for the rural folk. That sounds good. Oh, we need to get a law getting passed here. No one supports this unless we pushed in the armed... We'd have to get the armed forces into government to push this. 11% on something like that. The nice thing about this is that the landowners won't be upset by it, right? They won't be upset by it. Industrial folk need to get pushed in to do that. This would be kind of catastrophically not great. Censorship is something we talked about how we wanted to do this, right? We wanted, but I think actually the intelligentsia are upset enough, maybe doing something that will benefit them. The intelligentsia and the rural folk will team up to get this done. This will make radicalize the landowners. The landowners have lost a lot of their political clout. Man, we're so close, I think, to being able to try to do something like that. I'm wondering if instead... Yeah, this is only going to be a -5 for the landowners. I think what we do is we do this, and then we swing around. When they lose that 25% bonus, then they'll lose everything but the monarchy, and we'll swing around and we'll get rid of slavery. And if they revolt against us when we're getting rid of slavery, we'll fight them, and that'll be fine. I don't love the fact that we're a negative authority, though. Social mobility, let's cancel that for now. I honestly, the qualification system, I just don't worry about it. I really don't. People seem to figure it out. People seem to get trained on the job or something. I mean, eventually you get universities built and stuff, and it really doesn't matter. But the struggle to get people to just fill the basic labor role, like it doesn't take that much qualification to go from peasant to laborer, apparently, because I've never had an issue. I mean, every time you build a building, it'll say something like, "There's not enough qualifications to fully staff the building," and then you build it, and then they staff the building. I mean, these buildings are staffed. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, game. These buildings are fully staffed. That's just a cotton plantation. You're telling me there's not enough people here to work at a cotton plantation, but there's enough to work textile mills and stuff. You know what I mean? So it seems like the qualification system is not fully fleshed out, shall we say, right? Like these are things that, additional, that's from an event. Yeah, it's from an event. GDP, I mean, what? I mean, more than doubled, almost tripled. So we're doing good in that sense. Taxation is still insufficient here. We're working on that by building those extra government admin buildings. This actually might be the death sentence. No, it's not. We're still going to be short. We're still going to be short. Pegu. It's so annoying that we start with this, to be honest. It's just because there's so many people living here. It's just like the population balance here is all just messed up. And it's funny because a lot of the government admin buildings that you start with are, of course, in your capital of Burma. They're not in Pegu. So we're building extra. We don't need this much bureaucracy. This is insane. Did we end up building that second level port? Yes, we did. So we should have a lot more convoys, and that's probably increasing our tariff income. Yeah, it is. Because those convoys that we have are probably flexing. It's actually saying to export wood. None. No way. Only making plus 70 at a 7% reduced base cost. That's a sweet spot right there. And the game wants us to export wood. No. We could import some rice though. I don't think that would be a bad thing. That's relatively clever. It's saying furniture, sure. Clothing, sure. Yeah, we could look for imports for those things. Grain's usually one that's massively produced by other countries. This won't even use, like, yeah, let's just flood our market with Qin Dynasty grain. That's fine. Won't even use it, just uses bureaucracy. We got bureaucracy for days. For days. But there's really nowhere. How many did we end up getting a second? We did end up getting multiple. Let's go to dye works here and let's import this dye. I don't care if it says it's not productive. I promise it'll be productive. Again, you got to be smarter than the game sometimes. Got to be smarter than the game. Oh, bringing in some fine furniture from the Prussian market or from the Russian market. Let's do both. Why not both? And we could also, we said, what was the other one? Clothing. No. Furniture. The AI struggles to make as much of this stuff as they need themselves, so they tend not to have a surplus to send out. But the Prussian market, it's productive. We might as well send it in. I don't think there's anything we need to export, though. Don't we have a second glassworks that either was made? No, it's not. It's down here lower in the chain. Wow, we're actually going to have a lot of demand for glass, but that's okay because we're building the second glassworks. We're going to use the lead from the Shan State's lead mine to go up to the next step of leaded glass, and that'll give us even more glass on top of just getting another glass thing in general. Spare no expense. We want to get this passed. Yeah, let's spend some bureaucracy. We got bureaucracy coming out of our ears. So enactment time will reduce, and then also the success chance will double, basically. So this will get passed in a jiffy, hopefully. Good. That's looking great. If we were to modernize our military, it would be very expensive, no doubt about it. Am I crazy, though? Or can we get another construction building? It said we had too much wood. Well, prove it to me. Prove it to me. Although I just realized that all this wood, we might be actually getting a strain on tools at the moment. So actually, okay, how much? This would use 40 iron. That's multiple iron mines, right? Let's get an iron mine. These actually even use tools. How many tools would that immediately give us, though, if we just went up to pig iron tools? 60 more. 60 more. Yeah, that's going to be going up. We have to make this in Burma, too. We're still making positive income. We could actually go and actually remove some of the... we could remove some of the consumption taxes to alleviate those taxes that are on the peeps, right? We're really not even making anything off the tobacco tax. Yeah, the liquor, we're getting a lot of tariff income from the liquor, and we're also over 1,000, and then we're taxing it as well. In fact, we're getting some from exporting the liquor, although not very much. I wonder, we're probably just not exporting much liquor. And it's saying it's still productive, though. That's one of the weird things about the game is you can import and then, yeah, import 250 from Great Qin, and then you can export 50 of it this way and make money both ways and get tariffs both ways. It's kind of silly, but there you go. So this is, I think we could credit the industrialists here. They like us, and getting them more power is going to help us modernize our economy. Still running a taxation issue here, although this definitely will change once we get that technology for central archives. This will be the nail in the coffin. This will be the nail in the coffin for that. What's auto spreading over here? Nitroglycerin? That's a good one. That's a good one. We'll need some, to take advantage of that, we'll need... Yeah, the king's will shall be done. This will make the intelligentsia a little bit less happy, but they're happy enough. It's fine. It's going to remove a penalty there. We just need to get this done. That'll make the intelligentsia happy. So much bureaucracy. Again, if we had institutions, we wouldn't have this much bureaucracy lying around. You know, if we got... The thing is, we have to keep the landowners in government for legitimacy's sake, right? Wait a second. The rural folk, do we care about these folks anymore? They don't want colonial affairs. We do. They're neutral towards banning slavery, huh? Yeah, there's nothing here that we really necessarily... I mean, moving to protectionism could be good. That's something we haven't quite considered yet. 45% chance to do this? Huh. Mercantilism is a big problem. It's a huge problem. A huge problem. Because what it does is... And I didn't really realize this merchant guild production mode makes it so shopkeepers dominate your trade routes, and you have tens of thousands of shopkeepers operating your trade routes. What this does is this gives the petit bourgeois a lot of political power, and what happens is as you play the game, if you don't change this, is the landowners, all that, you know, like them impeding progress and being a big influence on the beginning of the game, that shifts over time. That'll shift to the petit bourgeois, essentially. But if you actually get to protectionism, I mean, it's whatever in terms of the tariff income change or whatever, but it gets rid of that merchant. It gets rid of that merchant guilds and actually allows for privately owned trade centers if you want to go that route instead, and so on and so forth. So I don't know. The mercantilism is pretty archaic. It'd be nice to move out of that, to be honest. That's if you go protectionism. That's just because the rural folk want this, it looks like. Oh, this is inflated. Yeah, that's the rural folk are the only people that want this right now. I mean, it'd be weird to do that before getting rid of traditionalism, to be honest. We really want to get rid of this. But that requires the industrialists getting pushed in. Would the industrialists... No, they'd probably only support free trade. Free trade's a little bit tricky because it increases the competitiveness of your trade routes, but it removes a lot of the bureaucracy cost, but it actually removes tariffs. No tariffs for any goods. We're making 6,000 from tariffs, so I don't know if we want to cut that entirely. You know what I mean? Isolationism means you're not even allowed to trade at all. It just disables trading, which... I mean, I think for some of these countries, it wouldn't even be the worst thing in the world. It just doesn't... I mean, the benefits just don't outweigh the opportunity. The opportunity to trade occasionally is really powerful. I don't think we don't overly rely on trading. We're managing our economy as if we were kind of self-sufficiently, but yeah. I'm just thinking our legitimacy is really low, and I'm just wondering if we could bump some of these people out. We could boost our legitimacy quite a bit. Man, our legitimacy is just painfully low. What are we passing next? This is what matters. What are we passing next? I just don't know. Because if we want to use the rural folk, we'd pass something like banning slavery. Yeah, that's right. That was the plan, right? To try to ban slavery. Yeah. I think we'll just take the low legitimacy for now and try to ban slavery next. Trade routes need convoys. Okay, we need more ports. We need more ports. Priority uno. I mean, that's just going to keep flexing and adjusting and stuff. That's going to be a constant issue because physically we can only go up to 5 ports in Pegu. That is not something we're actually going to be able to... That's just not something we're going to be able to avoid. It's saying we're actually losing, by doing here. Let's trust this. Let's trust the game on that and just refresh our clipper trade route. And there we go. The British market, much better, much better. Now that the English folk are actually making clippers in mass, because they should have a lot of shipyards and should be just producing a lot of ships. That just sort of thematically fits. Wow, we're still making great money even though we built the additional construction thing. Wowzers, we're about to make another construction thing. But I think between the cost of the ports, some additional potentially military modernization, stuff like that could also cost a lot of money. So I think we're gonna like we don't want this to get full. We want to be running at a deficit. But the thing is, with your own economy as you're growing, it's a very tentative sort of. At any moment, this can go very negative for us, right? So it's a balancing act at the moment. It's a balancing act at the moment. But I think, yeah, getting some small arms being built could be good, or even shifting over to hardwood, which is going to take a big chunk of our wood. It's going to increase the cost of our construction because the wood cost will go up. Yeah. And we might be very close to moving into hardwood production, is what I'm seeing here. Look at how much grain we're bringing in. I mean, could we export this grain out to someone? I mean, sort of, not really. We don't have the convoys for that. Oh, we have a lot of authority, though. What do we do with this? See the petite bourgeois? This is because of mercantilism. 13, like they're from marginalized to 13% is because we're doing so much trading. A lot of their population comes from clerks and shopkeepers that are the shopkeepers and the clerks are occupying doing the trade route work. Something that I learned recently. Because I always wondered, how the heck do these guys always creep up? They literally will replace the landowners at the tippy top. It's literally like almost a perfect switcheroony. As you, if you don't get rid of mercantilism. So we need to figure out what to do with this 200 authority. And I think we'll do that on the next episode, guys. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Really appreciate it. I read every single comment and respond to every question. So leave those down below in the comment section. And if you are looking for the next episode, the playlist link in the YouTube description will get you to the next episode safely, because sometimes YouTube can be a little bit weird about what it recommends when you finish watching a video. And sometimes it doesn't recommend the videos in order. Which can be confusing, you can imagine. But thanks, everybody, for being here. I think things are going pretty well for Burma. We're not quite at 20 years into the game yet. We've definitely been able to pass some things, but we've had some bad luck with it, too. Appointed bureaucrats is going to be a big one. That'll be kind of the final nail in the coffin for the landowners. Well, not quite. Getting rid of the monarchy is the final nail in the coffin for the landowners. And that will be a tougher step, because the monarchy is supported by more than just the landowners. Anyways, guys, thanks everybody for being here. I will see you guys in the next episode.